Hi everyone, my name is Ollie and welcome to the first video in this tutorial series of Java for Beginners. So in this tutorial what we're going to be doing is we're going to be downloading the Java development kit and also a program called NetBeans, and these two combined together are going to let you just jump straight in and start programming in Java. So first thing you want to do, head over to any old search engine. I'm using Google, and I'm going to search JDK, stands for Java Development Kit. And then what we want to do is click on this first one, Java Standard Edition Downloads. And then once this page loads, we want to scroll down a bit. It may look slightly different depending on when you're watching this. We're going to click on this first one, or sorry, this third one along that says JDK, Java Development Kit. Oops, let me go back. Plus NetBeans, and NetBeans is the program that we're going to be programming Java in. So let's download this one here. And once you come to it, you'll come to a page like this, and you're going to want to click Accept License Agreement, and then choose the appropriate installer for your operating system. So I would do Windows. I've already got Java installed, obviously, so I'm not going to download this now. Once you have downloaded it, it's quite a big file as you can see, but once you have downloaded it, it's pretty much going to be a standard installer. You're going to choose the location, accept terms and conditions, and so on. So once you've got all of that installed, and you know it's been installed successfully, we can carry on to the next step. So the next step requires us to set up something called environment variables, and the way we're going to do this is we're going to, let me drag my screen recorder down, we're actually going to click Start and right click on Computer and hit Properties like so. And then once this Properties window pops up, you want to hit Advanced System Settings. And if you have Windows XP, clicking on Properties would have brought this up in the first place. It wouldn't have brought up that window that's behind this. But you want to click on the Advanced tab, and then we're going to hit Environment Variables. And what we're doing is we're providing Java with the path to where Java was installed, and it means that whenever we run our Java programs, Java knows where to look so it can compile it and run it, etc. So I'm going to open up my computer. If you installed it in the default location, then it will be where I'm heading right now. If you installed it somewhere else, then just make sure you direct it to that path. So it's on my local disk C, program files, not the program files 86, just the normal program files. And then, let's see, Java. And then JDK, latest one currently is 1.7. And then we want to go to this folder called bin. So if you've got Windows 7, you can right click in the top here and click copy address as text. If you don't have that functionality, you can right click on any one of these, hit Properties, it's just off the screen there, but the bottom option is Properties, and then when this opens up, this is the location right here, so copy that string there. Once we've copied the location of the bin, we can minimize this, and then in our environment variables here, you want to hit New, and then you're going to write path in capital letters, and right click in the variable value and hit paste like so. And once that's in there, so now we can just hit OK, and OK, and OK, and close this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just test the installation setup. So I'm going to open up Notepad++ and drag it into the window. There we go. And literally just copy out what I type. You don't have to know what's going on or what's happening, because we're going to cover that in all the next tutorials. All we're doing now is we're testing that the compiler was set up correctly. So pause the video if you have to. I'm not really going to explain any of it. Just you need to copy as I do so we can test the setup. So we're going to write public class test and use these two spike brackets. Then we're going to write public static void main. Then in brackets we're going to write string, and then those two square brackets, args, close the parentheses, and make sure this string has a capitalized S. That's one of the most common errors that I see. Then two more of those square brackets, and then here we're going to write system, make sure system also has a capital S, .out.println, and then in two brackets, in speech marks, they must be double quotes, not single quotes, we're going to write hello world, and end it with a semicolon. So may or may not look familiar to you depending if you've learned any other programming languages before, but it doesn't really matter for now because we're going to be learning all of this in the later tutorials. So we're going to have to call this test.java, make sure it's the same as the word after class, and we're going to hit save. And the reason I put it in speech marks was to make sure it saved it as a Java file rather than a .text file. So now we have this test.java. I'm going to open up the command prompt by holding Windows key and pressing R to bring up run, and then we're going to type cmd, hit OK. And in Linux, I'm not sure how you get to it, but this is basically the terminal, and you're going to still need to type in the same thing. So we're going to write Java C for Java compile. Well, actually, before we do that, we need to change directory to the desktop, because that's where it's located. We're going to write Java C for Java compile, then we're going to write test.java, and it's going to compile that Java program for us. And it's basically turning the code that we write into computer code so the computer can understand it. And it took a little while, but there we go. We now have this test.class file, and I'll show you this quickly in Notepad. This is basically the code that the machine runs. As you can see, there's lots of sort of weird symbols and stuff like that. So it's converted this into that machine code stuff. So I'll close Notepad. And now that we've got our class file, we can write Java and then just write test, and it's going to run that class file for us. And we can see it prints out hello world. So if you see anything other than hello world, well, unless you changed the string of text inside the thing, we did. If you see any errors or something similar to this, like javac is not recognized as an internal command, what you want to make sure is you've set up the path variable correctly. Also make sure that JDK is fully installed. And if you get error messages such as cannot find symbol, make sure you have copied this exactly as I've typed it. You can pause the video and do it there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to be doing an introduction to NetBeans, and we're going to be learning the very basics of Java. So thanks for watching.